Sessions with Maplex. We're broadcasting live from the Creative Community Studio here in the Old Louisville area. We're here today with Harley Morris, who is the writer and director of Nailed Down, which is a film that he's working on. I got to see the trailer. Actually, I got to see the last part of the trailer this past Friday at Bear Nose when we did my debut of broadcasting out and about at a venue as opposed to just at the Creative Community Studio. And we had some technical difficulties, but it went down pretty well, and I got to see a few seconds of your trailer. You said you don't know exactly when it's going to come out?
No, we're starting principal photography around June 8th.
Okay.
And we're going to work it through the end of summer.
Nice.
And see where it takes us from there.
Right on. We had talked a little bit the other day about that, but like I said, we had some sound issues.
Right.
So we can go ahead and go through any of the information that we went through before. I was curious where you came up with some of the ideas that you were putting out there through this film that you're working on.
Well, that's interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk too much about the
Sure.
personal side of it because that gets into some really deep stuff and involves other people. But let's just say I had some personal things that I had to deal with emotionally.
Okay.
And I put what I wanted to get out of my own head into a art form, which was the script for this. And by putting it in that script, it was actually therapeutic, and it helped me channel. And once I was done with it, I felt really good.
Yeah.
So,
are you a writer in general? Is that one of
the script writing is one of those things that's just kind of been an evolution for me.
Okay.
I started off trying to do music for many years, artwork here and there, and then it evolved, into me writing, which grammar for me is forbidden, but still writing nonetheless. And
yeah. That's what word processing programs are for.
Like Final Draft, stuff like that.
Yeah. They'll auto-correct a lot of the things that grammatical errors and things like that.
But the weird thing is, it's like when there's two spellings for one word, my
True.
brain doesn't.
But it doesn't matter if it's phonetically correct. I mean,
yeah.
And that's also if you have someone to read through it and edit it a little bit.
That's the one thing that I didn't do.
Yeah. If you ever want somebody to do that, my mom's an English teacher, so I have a pretty good eye for that sort of thing.
I have a good friend that's a grammar Nazi, so I can always go to him at any time.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we didn't really say much about what kind of a film it was, so talk a little bit about that.
Well, it is a psychological thriller.
Okay.
Revenge torture film.
Which you say with a completely straight face.
Well,
a psychological thriller, revenge torture film.
Yeah. So
one of those everyday normal sorts of things.
Well, for me it is because I love movies like that.
Sure.
Some of my favorites are like The Collector from around 2009.
I have not seen that one.
Really good movie.
Yeah. Who's that by?
I don't remember. And
All
I feel
right.
bad.
One of my favorite movies that I don't.
Yeah, it's just a great movie.
Yeah.
And then The Strangers was really good.
That's another movie that I haven't seen.
Great movie. Liv Tyler in that was phenomenal.
Okay.
And then I'm also a huge fan of like Silence of the Lambs,
of course,
and things like that. So I took the extreme side of like The Collector and The Strangers, and then I'm taking the psychology of films like Silence of the Lambs,
Nice.
and I'm going somewhere like
in
between them.
Yeah.
And getting that niche area that you don't see much of in film.
Right.
So.
Right. I definitely appreciate the intelligence and kind of the, it's sort of a sociopath, psychopath sort of character like on Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
because he was obviously really intelligent, but had this.
Tell me, Clarice.
But just had this violent side of himself that he had to express. And,
Yeah.
And
really, he acted like it didn't even have to be violent. It was more like, if you look at it, and look at me, I'm supporting the psycho.
Well, I definitely would like to hear your perspective on it.
Well, the thing is, though, if you look at it, when the movie starts out, he's just having a dinner,
right?
And he's like, "Eat up," and nothing to it. Whereas when you back him into a corner, then he's
Right.
eating your liver.
Yeah.
So
that's when you see the violence come out.
Yeah.
When he feels threatened.
Right.
A lot of those characters, I think it's more about control than anything else.
It really is.
And just from hearing about psychological disorders and things like that, that's generally, they feel like they need to be in control of the situation. And
well, I think that's the interesting thing about my film, is I was using it to take control
right.
of what I was feeling.
Right.
And so, putting it in written form, then I could take control of what I didn't have control of.
Sure. But it's much better to have that kind of artistic outlet than to, go the way that Hannibal went with
Especially such as we've had this past week with people eating each other's faces. And have you heard about that?
What? No.
Yeah, there's these two guys, they were on something. They were eating each other's faces, like sitting there nude. They had to shoot one of the guys
like just
in the head.
Nibbling on each other? And whatnot?
Yeah, like almost a whole face gone.
Did it say what they were on? Like,
there's like some kind of salt of some sort and cocaine. It's like a mix.
Is it a bath salt?
Yeah,
of some kind. Yeah. I've heard about that.
I don't think it was Epsom salt per se.
No. It's what I'd heard about it was that it was kind of like, I think it was kind of like meth.
Yeah,
but it was a cousin.
More pure.
It was like a cousin chemical, and that they had found some loophole. And this is apparently the way that a lot of drugs get out there that are similar to other drugs, but they haven't quite been made illegal yet.
Right.
And so this specific one was released as this bath salt thing.
Right.
That if you got it by accident, like you could just have no idea, and all of a sudden you're not tripping, but you're,
No doubt. Yeah, there's that, and then there's the stuff going on in Syria. Then there's this one guy stabbed himself and then threw his entrails at the policeman. And, there's been a lot going on in just the last week.
Yeah. And Doc Watson died.
There you go.
There's lots of stuff going on.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Right. It's crazy. So you don't know exactly when it's going to come out. Principal photography is coming up. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the people that are going to be involved in the film that you're working on?
There's an old friend of mine from middle school. His name's Wesley Hinkle.
Okay.
He's going to be one of the main characters. He's done some small stuff with Jason Crow and Ronnie Jonah. Then there's Brian Kinnison. He's a comedian over at the Comedy Caravan. Does some booking stuff. He's also worked with Jason and Ronnie.
He was the broadcast or the announcer at the Bluegrass Art Experience, isn't that right?
Yes. Yeah, he helped with that.
Got to meet him the other day.
Yeah, cool cat.
Yeah, great guy. And he just got his appendix taken out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's a trooper, man.
Right before, like the day before the Bluegrass Art Experience.
No, it was
2 days before, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been 2 days. Yeah.
It was really briefly before.
Yeah, he showed me the scar and everything. I was like,
I saw him actually when I'd never been to Churchill Downs before, and so as I was walking in, he happened to be right there, and we were both trying to figure out how to get to where we were going, and so I talked to him for a few minutes.
Well, there's a good meet.
Yeah. And actually, I had heard or seen a post about him, getting his appendix out and everything, so he said his name, and I was like, oh, you're that guy, and he was like, what?
That's what
I don't like the sound of that.
That's what he meant whenever I was talking to him. He was apparently I'm the appendix guy.
I wouldn't have called him the appendix guy. I mean, that's just rude.
Well, that's his comedy.
Right. Yeah, he sounded like he had the kind of voice like he was a comedian.
Oh yeah.
That's what I kind of was thinking.
Oh yeah, he's a very funny guy.
Yeah. But he has a really good persona. Like he has a really good personality on the mic.
Well, he came to me asking me if I had a part available in my movie.
Right.
And I was like, funny enough, I said, I do have one I'm still trying to fill because I had people leave.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd love to try out. Nice. And he wanted to do something more serious because he wants to do a broad spectrum of things. I was like, please do. On the spot.
Nice.
So, and then I also have, he's working on a couple other projects. He's working on RPS with David Brewer, who did...
What's that?
I can't talk much about it.
Sure.
Because it's not my film. They're keeping kind of hush-hush about some of the finer details.
Yeah.
But RPS stands for rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
So
that was more what I was asking. Okay. Anyways, what's the RPS stand for?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But that's by David Brewer, who did the movie Nothing in the Flowers, which, interesting enough, leads me to the segue of June 13th at Stony Brook Theater. will be his film showing there. And
that's where I know that that title from.
And then Nailed Down's teaser is going to show right before that.
Nice, like a preview.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah, we got.
Is that something that you guys are trying to get to where it's a regular thing, where you can have?
He had someone from Stony Brook get in contact with him and say, "Do you want to show it?"
That's
and
awesome.
he's like, "Yeah."
So now you have a connect at Stony Brook.
Yeah. So, and he's wanting to do more independent films there and stuff like that. Which, by the way, this showing is going to be a free show.
Nice.
So open to anyone that comes out. Please do support local.
Yeah, I hope that I am available that day. I've got to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday?
Yeah,
okay.
It'll be at 7:30 p.m.
Okay. Well, that week I may have to, the week beforehand, say next week we're not going to be broadcasting.
Actually, it might be a good idea that if you can bring your stuff out.
Do a mobile broadcast.
Talk to David himself.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I could probably talk to him for you in advance.
Yeah, talk to him. Let me know what he says. Also, we were talking just before we were broadcasting about somebody who was setting up a larger situation with production and with filmmaking and different things like that.
Oh, are you talking about the Dov Simmons stuff?
Yes.
Okay, that's Movie Cloud.
Movie Cloud. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember. And so maybe, hopefully, as a part of our own setup with that, we can get back with the Stony Brook guy and set up a bunch more films.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants to. So I can't wait to see what makes it available for the Louisville scene.
Yeah, it's great that somebody's reached out to us. Like, I feel like a lot of the time, up until this point, I've had to talk to people and try to get them involved in things over and over and over again, and people are like, yeah, that sounds interesting, but it's hard to get people.
It really is in this
back
town.
in, and but now, honestly, just as of the past couple months, I've had a few people approach me and say, hey, I've seen some of the stuff that you do, I'd like to get involved, and so that gives me a lot of heart about
right.
the situation, and that that we're doing something that's good and positive, and that we're actually getting things accomplished.
Going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. Is there what are some of the locations that you're going to be filming in for your film?
Well, the most of the movie takes place in one location.
Okay.
And that'll take place in one of my crew's garage.
All right.
Just because for the lighting, it's perfect. It's nice and dark, and there's no echo in there whatsoever, so it's great
Nice.
for sound.
Good acoustics.
Yeah. So
excellent.
We'll be filming in there, and then I do want to plug the Zone Comic Book Shop.
Okay.
Daniel Thompson. He's going to play a small part in the film. He's going to be, of course, the comic book store manager.
Right.
So he's going to allow us to film one scene there. And so I thought that was a great opportunity for both of us. Because
Nice.
if this thing takes off, then people are going to know that comic book store. So
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Get some local businesses.
Yeah.
Lift them up with us.
That's what I like to do.
And that's the kind of networking that if you meet people that work in local businesses and they're interested in film, or they're interested in different other projects that we come up with, or that people are working on, and they have a place, in this case it's a comic book store that can be used in a film, but there could be an art gallery in a film.
Or a coffee shop.
Or a coffee shop. But like an art gallery, there could be an art gallery, and we need an art gallery in a film. And then we also have friends that, do painting
and the art gallery
and
thing's perfect with
photography.
Mike Nesser.
Right, exactly.
So.
And he's already got an art gallery, and I'm sure that he would be interested in getting the promotional value out of having a film filmed at his place. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm friends with Mike, so it's very possible.
Yeah. I got to do a session with him. Just,
yeah, like I said the last time I saw that, that was a good session.
Yeah. Is there anything else about your film that we should discuss that you can think
Well,
of?
as far as cast members, we do have Christina Mullins.
Okay.
She's from the movie Overtime. She's also on the RPS project, and she does work with Alley Theater as well. And then Katie Stewart, also Overtime. She's got a little something going on with RPS. It's weird how the community works together.
Yeah.
And then playing the son of one of the main characters is Elijah Malone. Okay. And this is going to be, as far as I know, his first feature.
Nice.
So
his debut as an actor.
Yeah. So that kid's got some spunk, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting working with him. My casting director is Courtney Harden. He works at the Alley Theater. Okay. Great guy. Then there's Chad. Sorry, Tate. Schmello with whiskey. I feel bad because I can never pronounce his name right. But he's with Star Films, and he's doing cinematography.
How does he spell his last name?
It's Chmielewski.
Schmelowski.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Schmelowski.
Man, Tate, I feel so bad, dude. Sorry.
Well, we got to get him on here now. Yeah. And have him pronounce his name, and then let everybody else try to pronounce it. And see how bad they.
Maybe we should play a game.
Yeah.
Play a game and you get free tickets somewhere. Or something.
If you could pronounce his name. Sounds good. I'd like to eventually get it to where we can have people call in during broadcasts and have that incorporated into the broadcast.
No doubt.
I think that through things like Skype, it shouldn't be that difficult to set up, but it's just
one would assume.
It's just something I got to figure out and get set up. And this actually may be the last broadcast that we do from this location. My roommate and I are about to move out as of June 8th, I believe, is the last day that we've got here. And so even before then, I'm going to be moving my stuff to my mom and dad's place, because they have, my dad is a singer-songwriter, and he produces music and for his band and whatnot. So it's convenient, and it'll be mutually beneficial. And
there you go.
I've started working on some of his projects. He's got some things going on at the Bardstown, a regular thing at the Bardstown that he does. And so, we can get everything set up over there, and maybe get my dad knowledgeable about some of these things, and who knows, maybe one day he could do his own show or something like that. I've been trying to get more people to do their own shows.
Spin-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That'd be cool. So, and his band is called the Needler Conspiracy, which I've always thought was a cool name.
That's pretty interesting.
My last name is Needler, by the way, for anyone who didn't know that. But so yeah, this may be the last broadcast that we do here, but I'm glad that I've gotten to do the broadcast that we've had here. I'm glad that you, of all people, could be the last person.
I feel so privileged. I really do.
Cool.
For anyone to introduce or to want to interview me about my project is a big deal to me. It makes me feel humbled.
Well, you should always be humble for sure, but it's my pleasure to have you here and to be able to get involved in more of the things that are going on locally.
Oh, definitely. Also, if anyone wants to be more interested in in Nailed Down, you can go to the website. It's naileddownmovie.weebly.com.
Naileddownmovie.weebly.com.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else other than this that you're working on or that you're thinking about working on in the future?
I have a couple of projects. I don't want to put myself out there for them right away, though, because it's there's 3 or 4 different projects, and I kind of want to focus on this, and then after this is done,
make a little transition into something else.
Yeah, because I still want to submit this to certain film festivals and whatever.
Right.
And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I definitely have to do that and end something and make a clear transition before I start on something else. And
it's very wise. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself so whacked out.
Yeah, I'm already multitasking way too much in general. So
I'm still trying to find a job myself, so I'm multitasking on that enough.
Yeah, it's there's always something else to do. This has been Sessions with Maplex. We've had on the show today with us Harley Morris. He's got a film coming out at some unknown point in the future.
Dun, dun, dun.
A film called Nailed Down, and principal photography is coming up soon for that. I think you said you've already got everybody cast for that at this point?
Yeah, everything's cast for it. There may be some extra stuff here and there. I'm not sure. Well, as we go, we'll find out.
So we may put out an update at some point in the near future, depending on what happens. And we'll definitely put out some updates once there's been some footage filmed and some photography done. We'll put those things out there as they come up.
Stony Brook, June 13th.
Stony Brook. What's the name of that film one?
Nothing in the Flowers.
Nothing in the Flowers. And who?
That's David Brewer.
David Brewer. All right, this has been Sessions with Maplex with Harley Morris. You all have
See ya.
Have a wonderful day.